when whippoorwill call, and evening is nigh, I hurry to my blue heaven.
G'day, episode number 25 of My Blue Heaven. One of the hardest things you have to confront as a football fan is when you get to the stage when you convince yourself you don't care. And you almost feel that you have nothing left for your football club. And for me, that's just about the lowest point you can get to. After following this club for so many years, I've felt this way for the first time in my lifetime this year. After what we experienced last year, I didn't want to get back there. I never wanted to go back there. So I've convinced myself, and I've convinced myself that I don't care. But if I'm honest with myself, convincing yourself that you don't care is a sign of weakness as a supporter. Because really, what you're doing is you're giving up. And that's not what it's all about. So I didn't want to do this episode. In fact, coming up with ideas and, each week, and I've been criticised for being a little bit flippant, lambasted for being patronising and condescending towards our football club. I thought long and hard of just giving it away and just not giving the football club away, but being a spectator, but really not being there in spirit at all. But something struck me this morning. It was a tweet by Dane Swan, which has done the rounds on social media. It was a tweet which, when you really look at it and analyse it, it might mean a lot and could be a bit of a throwaway, cheeky bit of banter. Pretty much sums up where we're at. And pretty much sums up to me and tells me that we need to keep fighting as supporters. We need to stand up. We need to be loud. We need to continue to ask questions of our football club, and we need to continue to demand better of our football club. And I'm not going to stop until we get it right, and I'm not going to stop until changes are made. Let me read Dane Swan's tweet in regards to his former teammate Daisy Thomas being suspended by the football club for drinking 48 hours from the game on the weekend. This is what Dane Swan said. I drink at quarter time if I play for the Carlton Football Club. Dale Thomas not being available to play is not a punishment in my opinion, it's a reward. I'd ask to be suspended for the rest of the year. This hit me, not so much of what he wrote, but it hit me right between the eyes of exactly where my football club is at. It is at its lowest point I can ever remember. If we thought we were at our lowest point after Mick Moldhouse, think again. I think right here, right now, we face the biggest challenge we've ever had. We have become, or we have been the laughing stock for far too long, and it needs to stop. And I won't stop, and our supporters shouldn't stop until we get our club back to where it belongs. I'm sick and tired of the constant ridicule Not just from opposition supporters, but people from the media, trolls from the media, hide behind their computers, hide behind their phones, are sniggering, laughing, taking great pleasure at where we're at. We need to stand strong here. And if we're not being made the butt of everyone's jokes, we're being pitied, we're being patronised, we're being looked down upon as this pathetic football club, now being described and compared to Fitzroy in their dying years. How big an insult is that? To being compared to a team that is no longer around. Dane Swan's tweet is symbolic. It's symbolic of what people think about us. How far we have fallen. How weak we are. How meek we are. How pathetic we are. How happy for Brendan Bolton to say, we won't be dictated by external noise. Well, fuck that. We need to listen. We need to take it on board because this is what people actually think about us. And until we listen and accept it, we will not change. And we need to change, and we need to change quickly. Because we have been stained. We are so far behind the rest, it's not funny. I don't want to talk about Daisy Thomas and the incident because that's another symbol of where we're at. Because if it was me, I'd be telling Daisy to fuck off. You've had your chance, sunshine. You've been here 5 or 6 years. You've never really put your hand up as a leader. We need to start standing for something. It's symbolic of his former teammate, Alex Fasolo, waltzing into the football club on a 3-year contract. Having Collingwood supporters say, Fasolo will be good for you. He couldn't get a game for us, but he'll be good for you. How condescending is that? And to think that he could stuff up on the piss and break his arm 7 weeks out from the season and then get a game, pull out our famous jumper, the jumper that means so much to this football club. Alex Fasolo just pops it on, no exposed form, and then he's dropped 2 weeks later. Pathetic, pathetic, pathetic. So this is what I'm proposing, or this is what I'd like. At the moment, on our board, there is only one person I can truly trust. A person who has knowledge about our game. A person who has played our game. A person who is a great footballer, a smart person. And also a person who is put in charge with a selection committee 4.5 years ago to listen to the vision and model put forward by Brendan Bolton. And that is Chris Judd. Judd, Sheldon, Stephen Trigg, Ange Postecoglou, and David Campbell. That was a subcommittee that listened to Brendan Bolton's vision, his strategic plan to change this football club. Now, Juddy, you were obviously mesmerised by Bolton, mesmerised by his plans, his model. And there's nothing wrong with that because we all were, because we trust you. We trust you as a former great of the football club, a man, okay, who was a fantastic footballer, who has an unbelievable football brain. But you know what? There's nothing wrong in saying that we might have got this one completely wrong. You, Chris Judd, are now part of an 8-person Carlton board. And on that board, you are the only one. Your portfolio is football and list management. It is your responsibility, mate. It's your responsibility to get in there, okay, and to see what the problem is. Now, this is what you were seduced by, Brendan Bolton. I'll give it to you. You know it. He was appointed on his ability to lead this club and to build a football program based on an elite learning environment, based on the ability to develop and educate and bring people together, based on an ability to build relationships, based on an ability in conjunction with Stephen Silvani to develop a list, and based on ability to provide a platform for sustained success. That was the brief. And that's why Brendan Bolton was appointed. And finally, Brendan Bolton said in his first ever press conference, it is about people, it is about process, Juddy. People and process. Bringing people together. And secondly, process, and the big one, process, getting the job done. Now, Juddy, you're on the board. It's your responsibility, your portfolio. Football and list management. You know what's going on. Now, after 4.5 years, we are 1-9. Sitting on the bottom of the ladder. After 4.5 years. After finishing on the bottom of the ladder in 2018 with a 2-win season. After being humiliated. Seemingly no progress over 4 years. Surely a man of your smarts, a man that's been in the caper long enough, who knows his football, can see that things are not right. Surely you can see that if we keep going along this path, it's going to ruin and stain this club forever. I know it's going to be a tough decision, and you might possibly have egg on your face because you were part of the team that endorsed Brendan Bolton. But it's not about egos anymore. Us supporters, we want our club back. We want this club to be performing at an AFL level. And at the moment, for the last 4 years, it hasn't been. 4.5 years has been long enough. So if you think, or you know, it is not working, changes need to be made. We trust you. We trust that you will make the right decision for this footy club. Just like to thank my friends from League Tees. Once again, a fantastic t-shirt. Princess Park, the home of the mighty fine Carlton Football Club. Get on board.